Welcome to episode 18 of Knitting with QueerJoe. This is basically a montage of the photos that I took on my trip up to Easton Mountain last week for the men's spring knitting retreat, which happens every May. It shows me picking up some of my favorite friends and going for our traditional mani-pedis, arriving at Easton Mountain. And then being greeted by the manager at Easton Mountain, Miguel, and his husband David. Easton Mountain is an incredibly beautiful, lush, and especially at this time of year, green and beautiful, beautiful area. This is the path to the housing lodge, and this is where I'll be staying for the entire week. Waking all the morning glories. This is the actual mountain, Easton Mountain, and with a pond in front of it, and just some pretty parts of the garden that they keep beautifully well. Each of the guys are thrilled to bits to get back together, and then when nightfall comes on the first Monday after our dinner, we head back up to the housing lodge. We bloom while we can. The next day we awake to knitting on the back deck. Volunteers like Anthony who prepare our meals. And then of course there's yarn, lots of yarn. Seasons going, coming, we are like chrysanthemums, delicate and lovely, yes. On the actual first day of the retreat, which is Thursday, we invited Tom and Linda Dyack to come and do an expert table on turning wooden needles and do a trunk show. Linda brought one of her famous quilts of Franklin on a lake in Paris, and so everyone wanted to pose with Franklin since he wasn't there in person. But we also got a chance to look at their amazing interchangeable needles. Frank, a farmer and owner at Echo Valley Farms in Frenchtown, New Jersey, is also an attendee. He also does a trunk show for some of his fibers as well. We were also fortunate for our road trip to go to Hickory Hill Fiber Farms. It's about a 30-minute drive from Easton Mountain, and they focus on llamas and Angora goats. Some of the most beautiful animals, and we were lucky to have a very experienced both fiber artist and farmer take us around. Todd was one of the three guys that own this farm, and they just keep some of the most beautiful llamas and some of the most beautiful Angora goats. And we also got a chance to look at some of their actual fiber product, which is dyed by some local dyers as well. It was a beautiful day for the trip and a beautiful farm.
Maybe we're just one of a million tiny galaxies hurtling on towards some unrevealed destiny. Maybe we're somebody's unfinished symphony. Maybe we're the defenders of the indefensible, just trying to make some sense of the incomprehensible. And what if we are? What if we are stars?
Friday night means the runway and show and tell. It's a long-standing tradition that we let the guys show off some of the things that they made since the prior retreat if they've been before, but they're allowed to show any of their fiber-related creativity. It's been a long-standing tradition, and it's a really wonderful one, and the guys get enormous amounts of praise for the creativity and the beauty that they create as part of their crocheting, their knitting, their weaving, felting, spinning. One of the things I particularly like about this tradition is that over the years, in fact in the first one, some of the guys who were at the retreat center asked if they could participate and be there for the show and tell to see our creativity. And they were blown away by the creativity of the guys and some of the things that they had made. So we continue to invite both the resident staff members and volunteers of the retreat center to participate as an audience for our show and tell.
Maybe we're creatures of habit and malice, the pale and the light of aurora borealis. And what if we are, what if we are only stars, only stars in the dark, just a spark. Maybe we're just lucky and blessed to bear witness to the flashing of this meteor, the tail of this comet. Maybe we're cursed, maybe we're fortunate. Maybe we just go on a milky white way. Maybe we get to stay. What if we are, what if we are stars? Only stars. Only
The guys volunteer to do workshops as well at the retreat. Anything from refresher knitting to weaving to Tunisian crochet, even self-publishing a book. Here are the weavers showing off what they made. Here are the things that happen at the retreat. Bob Clark, one of our regulars, has gotten recognized with a t-shirt of his own. Derek, the co-coordinator, and I are rather tired. We've done a lot of work, but Derek has also done something really nice for some of the volunteers at Easton Mountain. He makes a hat for each one of the guys there. They're always very appreciative.
To be left out to dry. What if this was our last chance to try? Just to be loved by one of us, just to be loved like one of them, just to be loved.
Certain times of the day are particularly festive. 5 at room 5 or 5 at 5 is a particularly fun time for a lot of the guys at MSKR.
To get out of your thinking brain, would it be so hard for you to just...
And before we pack everything up to get ready to go home, we take one final photo. Such an extraordinary group of guys.